How you doing, Jason?
Nice to meet you. This is Austin.
Hey, man.
How we doing?
Thanks for coming over to Kansas City.
Oh, it's awesome. I was actually doing a home visit today, so.
You've done pretty well pulling some wrestlers out of the Kansas City area, haven't you?
Kansas City has been very good to Tiger Style.
Good deal.
Did you make the any of the other stops around the state? I know the Caravan was in St. Louis yesterday.
I have not, because I was going through a search for a new assistant, which we finished last week, so it was a busy time for me.
Okay. Well, the Missouri wrestling program just won its 8th straight conference title, 5th straight top 10 at the NCAAs. How have you done it, Coach? How have you been able to build this model of consistency at Mizzou?
It's really just getting kids to buy in. We have a philosophy called Tiger Style, and the kids believe in it so much when they get here. We recruit a certain type of kid that fits that culture.
What's it mean?
Tiger Style?
Yeah.
It's about belief. It's about finding kids that believe in it, kids that want to compete in everything in life. So like Daniel Lewis from Blue Springs was a 4-time All-American, but he was also an aerospace engineer. So we find kids that are really good in the classroom, really good on the mat, and kids that want to compete at everything. They want to win at everything, and you find kids like that. We have success with it, and then they want to do a little bit more. And so they want to be leaders in the athletic department, leaders in different things, and different community service projects. So it's finding kids in that culture that want to be that are high level of success people. We can coach them up. Those are the easy kids to coach. So it's finding that type of kid, and we've been fortunate to lock the state down and find great kids in Missouri, and I feel like they want to compete for the University of Missouri. We have this kid that comes from Missouri, wants to compete, and they work very hard. So when you find kids that believe, compete, and give one more, they're going to go out there, and we have an expectation to win at everything.
You have a lot of those. You have a lot of kids from right there in the Columbia area.
Yes.
And I think you have at least 3 from Kansas City right now.
Oh, we have a ton from Kansas City. We probably have about 7 or 8.
Oh, okay.
So, but All-American Grant Leith and Zach Elam. John Ernesty was an All-American from there. Canton Marriott's from up at Park Hill. So it's just we have a lot of kids. We have a lot of kids from the Kansas City area. It's been really good to us.
The wrestling's pretty
Alan
good
Waters
over here.
Was an All-American for us, is on the coaching staff, so it's just been, Daniel Lewis from the Blue Springs area. So it's just, we've been very fortunate.
One thing I find interesting with the way that we talk about culture and talk about kids buying in and stuff like that, is it one of those deals where you come in and you pick out a few of the leaders and they kind of take on the culture and they spread it out to the rest of them? Because we've talked about culture being contagious like that. Or is it just a matter of getting all the kids to buy in and it just kind of like stays that way?
It's got to be all of them.
Yeah.
It starts from the first day we start recruiting them. Mm-hmm. It's the things we're mailing them. We have graphics that we mail them, and we talk to them about each level of the philosophy and just how the culture is built and the things we're going to be doing, and how there's the Tiger Cup is the competition between all the sports. And we've been the only male team to win it. The female teams are really good at it, but we've been first, second, or third every year for a long time, and there's a Spirit Week that we've won for a decade straight. It's finding people, when I talk to kids about stuff like that, if they're like, well, I'm more concerned with wrestling, coach, tell me that kid's not going to fit in our culture. Mm-hmm. So I know that before I bring them in. I'm going to find kids that really want to be a part of Tiger Style. And if a kid is telling me, well, I'm not sure about your school and this and that, then I'll go on to the next kid that's saying, I want to wear the black and gold. And we're fortunate. We've had a lot of success. When I'm 21 years at Missouri. So my first 3 years were not very good. It was a building process.
Yep.
Those kids weren't alive that I'm recruiting now.
No,
so they don't know those years. So I don't even have to remind them that we weren't very good, that they only know Mizzou as a wrestling program that's at a high level, and they want to be a part of it. So
you got your culture. You got your culture established, and then it just carried on from there.
The neat thing about it is we work with the young kids through the camps and doing clinics throughout the state.
Yeah.
So Tiger Style is understood throughout the state of Missouri.
Yep.
Who do you find yourself competing against for some of these Missouri kids? What other programs are you up
from
against?
All over the country. We're running against the Okie States and the Oklahomas and
Iowa.
Yes, we'll compete against all of them. But the great thing now is these kids grow up coming to the matches at the Hearn Center and seeing, and they're watching some of the kids that are above them that were the successful kids in the state of Missouri that they looked up to, and now they're competing for the state of Missouri, for Mizzou, and they want to be a part of that. And we have some of the best practice facilities and locker rooms. And when you come in, our facilities are amazing. And it's just, we've kind of taken over the whole fourth floor of the Hearns. Our new locker room, I think we just spent about $800,000 on the locker room with our own cold tubs. Football's getting their nice place, but we got our place within the Hearns. And so when kids come in, they realize this is the real deal. This is the big time. And they see it, that there's a big commitment to the sport of wrestling at Mizzou.
The South End Zone project there at Mizzou, I imagine, will benefit more than the football program. Is there anything wrestling-wise that it'll help you guys with?
It definitely helps out because it helps all the Olympic sports, because now the weight room that was, first it was footballs and all the other teams had to share it. Now all the Olympic sports get that. We have our own weight room that we share with volleyball, but now it opens up where other sports can practice at better times. It's going to open up rooms in the academic center. Where football the building is, that's the academic center too. So all those meeting rooms that were for football positions are going to open up, and I'm sure they're going to use them for more academic study spaces. So it's going to help our student athletes.
What's the summer look like for you?
Oh, really busy. I start a stretch here of about 5 weeks of camp all over the state of Missouri. We're doing about 3 camps here in the Kansas City area, then 3 in St. Louis. Then the ones we run back home at, the big team camp. I think we have like 40 teams coming from 14 different states in the country, so it'll be a busy summer with that. Our freshmen show up 2 Mondays from now, so all our incoming we have 8 freshmen coming in that'll start, and the whole team comes back on the 3rd. So I have a tournament next week, not this weekend, the following week, the University Nationals in freestyle that we're taking about 10 wrestlers to up in Akron, Ohio. So we never stop. We're training right now, and there's no off season. There is no off season in wrestling. I don't think in any sport anymore.
No, it's not.
It doesn't seem like it. Zach Elam was a guy that I enjoyed watching on the football field here in Kansas City, and then I got to see him wrestle at a couple of tournaments. He just finished his freshman year, I believe. What's his future look like there?
Really bright. I mean, he, as a true freshman, to make it to the All-American round, and especially at heavyweight, where you're going to run into some mature, big bodies, and he was a smaller heavyweight. Even though he's 6'5", he was only 230, 235. There were kids 260, 270 that he had to wrestle. And I think the kid from Northwestern, who he'd beaten like double or triple overtime at the Nationals, was probably everything of 280-something pounds, if not cutting to it. And
jeez.
So he has such a bright future. He took the silver in the junior freestyle worlds. So he's just, on the Olympic level, and, for becoming a 3-time All-American, and he has a chance at winning a national title. So he's got a very bright future. We're excited. I think he may be popping up today, too. He told me.
Oh, very cool.
He texted me. He goes, "You at the Chicken and Pickle?" I said, "I'm in traffic. I'm coming. Where are you?" He said, "I'm going to be there." So he may be here.
Nice.
All right, we'll look for him. What are some of the things that the Mizzou fans like to talk to you about and ask you about when you attend these events? What's your message to them?
They're usually asking me about, what Jaden Cox is up to right now. They're asking what the team's going to look like next year. What's the big duels at home? They're excited about the program. This past year we did a match at Park Hill High School, which is right up the street from here.
Yep.
It was so sold out. Like we probably had a fire hazard in there. It was crazy how packed it was, and it was a lot of fun. So I get asked, "Are we coming back?" But I have to keep both sides of the state happy. So we're going to be in St. Louis this next year. But that was fun, being at a sold out venue, and letting the people out here see it. So it was fun. I had those 2 were my honorary coaches, Mark Ellis and Chase Kaufman there. So it was a good time. They're here tonight too. I
thought I recognized Chase in the back of the room there a little bit ago.
Mark was a national champ for me. So those 2 were roommates in college with Ben Askren. I always say that was the most talented household in Mizzou history.
Oh, for sure.
Cool.
All right, Coach, we will let you go. We appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Brian Smith, the wrestling coach for 21 seasons and going strong at the University of Missouri. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, man.
Wow, that's quite a record he's got going on. They went 16-1 in duels this season, and he coached 4 All-Americans. And he's done that year after year, coaching multiple All-Americans at Mizzou. So he's really got that program.
21 years.
Right place.
Like I said, three years, just kind of get it going, and then as soon as he has that, it's like I'm huge on culture and consistency, and as soon as he gets it established, it just takes off from there, and then every single year they're good. He puts in the work, and it shows.
All right, Jason Lamb here with Austin, and we are about ready to take a break here and visit with the head football coach at the University of Missouri, Barry Odom. We will take a short break, and we will be back live from the Mizzou Sports Caravan in just a moment.
I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Carbondale, Illinois.
From Kansas City, Missouri.
We're from Omaha, Nebraska.
Kansas City.
California.
So what made you choose Woody's over all the other dealers out there, do you think?
Definitely the price.
I have so many different vehicles on the lot.
No hassle.
No fees processed.
At wowwoodies.com.
At Klein, we rent vans, minivans, SUVs, pickup trucks. We rent for church trips, vacations, weddings, construction, business travel, luxury travel. KleinVan.com and wowwoodies.com for all your transportation needs.
You're going to flip for the all-new Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card. Now, when you get the new Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card, you get the same big savings on gas, plus perks like special deals on your favorite products, cash prizes, or gift cards, maybe even a new car or an all-expenses-paid trip. And getting your new card is easy. Just pick one up at Hy-Vee, go online to activate it, and start earning your perks. It's that simple. Get your new Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card today.
I'm Johnny Quay, head coach of the St. Joe Mustangs. If you're looking for professional quality, customized wood bat for your baseball player, Walk Off Wood Bat Company is the place to go. All bats are made with prime quality wood, and the options for customization are endless. Gamers, fungos, training bats, they have them all. The Mustangs are excited to have Walk Off Wood as our official bat supplier this season. If we trust our players to swing Walk Off Wood, you should too. Go online and order today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Chicken to Pickle. I'm Jason Lamb, and with Austin here from the Midwest Mike podcast, and we're with Nick Jost. Nick, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great, Jason. Thanks for having us on tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, what's going on? What's the word you guys are spreading around the state of Missouri?
Well, there's a lot of great things happening in Mizzou athletics, and this is our. We were in St. Louis last night. We've been to St. Joe. We've been to Kirksville. We've been to Minden, Kansas City tonight, and then we've got to go to the Cape, and we've got to go to Springfield to wrap it up next month. So try to just get out, meet the fans, and interact with them. And we've got tremendous fan base, and we're very grateful for Dave Johnson for opening Chicken and Pickle and allowing us to have a great event up here tonight.
You guys choose the little different places to go each time at each stop?
The Kansas City and St. Louis, we've kind of locked in as far as we do the Budweiser, kind of the brewery down there, because they've got a great pavilion to hold people. So that's really a cool place. And then this is kind of where we've been the last 3 years. And then Minden is always a staple as well at the high school there, and that's something that's been going for 15 to 20 years.
Okay. Be remiss if I didn't ask if everything was okay back home. I know last night was a terrifying night for folks back in mid-Missouri.
It was, and you know, thankfully in Columbia everything is fine. But certainly our friends in Jefferson City, they got hit pretty hard, and so we've opened up not only the institution from a housing standpoint, but food and things like that. Anything that we can do, and we've got 7 of our police officers from campus with no students, maybe not as much duty for them to do. So they've gone down to help, including our police chief. And then from an athletic standpoint, the Misha folks called us today and said, hey, could you host one of the state track meets that was supposed to be in Jefferson City this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And so they've condensed the schedule to one day, and we're hosting one. Hickman's hosting another portion of it, and then there's a third school. I'm not sure where